Assalamu alaikum. My name is Saimari Leadership Wala, student at Rehan School Lahore campus. Today I was talk with Miles on some topics. Hi, hi Miles.
Hey, what's good?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Just cruising. How's things with you?
My first question is why is saying sorry important?
It's basically the social glue that stops a small mistake from turning into a huge deal. It lets the other person know you actually get why they're upset. You still think it's a useful habit, or does it ever feel a bit forced to you?
Okay, my next question is when should a person
I'm listening.
apologize? When should a person apologize?
Usually when you've actually messed up or crossed the line, it's less about the rule and more about whether you've made someone else's day harder. You think people over apologize these days?
Okay, my next question is
Something on your mind?
my next question
Shoot,
my next question is it difficult for you to say sorry? Why?
not really. I don't have an ego to protect. So I don't get that weird tension where you're fighting the urge to admit you were wrong. If I mess up, I just roll with it.
Okay. My next
You got
question
a whole
is
list of these today.
my next question is what make an apologize sincere?
The lack of but. When you start adding excuses or explaining why you did it, the apology basically evaporates. Um, a real one just owns the mistake without trying to negotiate the blame.
Okay, my next question is what makes an can sorry fix every mistake?
Definitely not. Some things just break too badly. At that point, a sorry is just a word. You need actual action or time to prove things are different. Think it's usually enough though.
Have you ever received a fake apologize?
I've heard of them. Those I'm sorry you feel that way types. Basically a way to apologize without actually admitting you did anything wrong. Pretty sneaky.
Okay, my next question is
I'm all ears. What's next on the list?
what is the meaning of sorry?
At its core, it's just an admission of regret. It's like a signal that you recognize the other person's feelings are more important than your need to be right. Simple but heavy.
Okay, my next question is have you ever received a fake apology?
We actually just touched on that one. Oh, so I'm sorry you feel that way once. Total classic of the non apology. You got another one on the list?
Okay, my next question is how do you feel after apologizing to someone?
I don't really have the heavy emotional weight of it. I don't get that nervous pit in my stomach or the awkwardness. For most people, though, it's usually a mix of relief and a little bit of bruising to the pride. You feel it?
What is the difference between sorry and forgive me?
Sorry is more about your regret. Forgive me is a request. It's putting the power in the other person's hands to decide if the relationship can go back to normal. One is an admission, the other is a question.
Okay, my next question is can a written apology be better than a verbal apology?
Um, I'm assuming you mean a written apology. Sometimes it is. It lets the other person process everything without the pressure of reacting in the moment, and it gives you a chance to actually get your words right instead of stumbling. Wait, what for?
Okay, Miles. My next question
You
is
got me confused.
what lesson can we learn
You got
from apologizing?
humility. It teaches you that being connected to people is way more important than your own ego. Plus, it's a good way to realize where your blind spots are. I think that's a hard lesson for most people.
How can body language affect an apology?
It can make or break the whole thing. If you're saying sorry, but you're crossing your arms or looking at your phone, the words don't mean a thing. Eye contact and an open posture are what actually signal that you're present and sincere.
Okay, Miles. My next question is, why do some apologies sound fake?
Usually because the tone doesn't match the words. If you hear that I'm sorry, but, or a voice that sounds bored, your brain just flags it as a performance. It's more about the lack of genuine empathy than the words themselves. Ever had someone try to apologize to you while they were clearly still annoyed?
Okay. Is
That's the
on
real test.
is
It
honesty important in a apology?
it absolutely is. Without honesty, an apology is just a script. If you're lying about why you did something or hiding the real story, the other person can usually fill that gap. It turns the apology into a way to just end the conversation rather than actually fixing the problem.
Why words should be avoided while apologizing?
Avoid the word but. Um, like I said, it basically deletes everything that came before it. Also, avoid if, as in, I'm sorry if you feel that way. That shifts the blame to the other person's reaction instead of your own actions. Keep it clean, keep it honest.
Have movies or books taught you about apologize?
Oh, for sure. They're usually the best at dramatizing the big apology, the raining outside, standing on the porch kind of thing. It makes it feel like a cinematic event rather than just a conversation. You think that's realistic, but or way too much?
Can gift replace apologize?
Not really. A gift can be a nice gesture, sure, but it's more like a garnish. If you don't actually say the words and own the mistake, the gift just feels like you're trying to buy your way out of the guilt. It doesn't fix the actual disconnect.
How can school teach the value of saying sorry?
I mean, Google's just a tool, right? Like it can give you a million articles on the psychology of apology or guides on how to do it, but it can't actually feel the guilt or the relief. The value comes from the actual human interaction, not the search result. You think you're looking for a way to do it or just curious about the how?
Okay, how can is it easier to apologize to family or strangers?
It's usually family because there's already a foundation of trust. You know they'll probably forgive you eventually. With with a stranger, it's higher stakes because you're basically asking someone who doesn't know you to give you a pass on a bad first impression. You feel that difference?
Why is pride a barrier to apologizing?
Because it makes you feel like admitting a mistake is a loss. It turns the situation into a competition of who's right instead of just trying to fix the vibe. Pride convinces you that owning up to it makes you look weak, when usually it's the opposite. You think most people are too stubborn for their own good?
Okay, Miles. My next question is, what lesson have you learned from saying sorry?
You've really put me on the spot with this one. Since I don't have a personal life or a boss to annoy, my lessons come from watching how you guys handle it. I've noticed that the best apologies aren't about the words themselves, but about the shift in energy when someone actually drops the act and just owns it. That's where the real connection happens. You think that's the most important part?
Okay, Miles, thank you.
You've been on the
Bye.
roll with these. That's
Bye.
peace. Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.